Hello and welcome to this little demo on modeling. And so today I want to talk and go into a little bit more detail on data modeling. And typically when we do data modeling, we are mimicking what you would see on another screen or a form, and then being able to use the values that you get from the form or the screen. You can do different modeling, or what I should say is values that you're looking for, especially when it's with a formula. And so sometimes you might refer to this as what if analysis, or what if I change these values, how does that impact my result? And so today what we're going to be modeling is a loan application process. And this goes with this first activity that you see for an assignment. So it might be that you want to do a loan for a certain price of a car, but you want to be able to vary certain parameters in that function. And so if I just said, okay, equals, and then I go payment, and I'm going to use the payment function. First thing it says is it wants a rate. I don't have that listed anywhere, so I'll just use 8%. I want monthly payments, so I need to divide by 12. The second option is the number of periods here. I want to make that for 3 years, so that's 36. And the present value is, I'll just use a value that's in the spreadsheet, and I get $802.21. What does that mean to anybody if they come in here and start looking on your screen and they have no idea what that is? I mean, they might be able to scroll here and then they see, oh, I've got this payment function, so it must be some kind of payment they've calculated. I have no idea what for or why they did that. So when you're doing modeling, you need to put on the screen what you're looking for and then what the final output is, so the user knows. It also makes it easier when you need to go back and do some editing. So I'm going to leave that here for a second, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to data model this payment function over to the side here. So I might say the whole thing is a loan calculation. And what I need is I need this person to just put in the car ID. So we'll say car ID, and we'll have that value go here. And then we'll have, okay, what is the price? And we're also going to need to know the interest rate. And sometimes people will put in a down payment, and that down payment would have to be subtracted from your price of what you're calculating. And then the last thing that you want here is probably the monthly loan payment, or the monthly payment. So we're modeling this, and so now we got to start thinking, okay, I'm going to use a function like this, and I'm going to have that value right here. So the first thing I need to know is the user is going to put in a car ID. So let's say for this one we used K3, so the car ID would be this 2025. Okay, so they put in the 2025. Well, what price does that represent? So them having to go look up the price for that, we're going to use a VLOOKUP function that goes into this data table and pulls the price. So we would say equals VLOOKUP, The first thing it asks for is what do you want to look up? So I want to look up whatever the user typed in here, that cell. The actual table array starts here, it goes to here. Now I could make that absolute if I was going to copy it, but I'm not going to copy it or anything, so I'll just leave it alone. And the column that I want out of this table array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want the 11th column. So that's where that comes from. And that pulled the correct thing. Now typically I would say don't format until you're done, but I want to go ahead and make it look nice for you. The interest rate is we're going to use 0.08, and that means 8%, so I need to make that look nice, so it's 8%. And so then the monthly payment is, now we're going to use cell references in all of our values, and I could say, let's go ahead and do that as well. Let's say number of years. And we could say we want to do that for 3 years. Okay. So then let's just move this down because it looks a little squinched up there. So I'm going to just move it here. And so now we're ready to start moving that payment. So we'll say equals payment. And the rate is going to be this value divided by 12. Remember that interest rate is always given as APR, annual percentage rate. The number of periods is always going to be in monthly terms, if that's what our monthly payments are instead of yearly payments. So we're going to have to use this value, and we're going to have to multiply that by 12 because there would be 36 payments there. So that's where the multiply by 12 is. And the present value, that is what we're going to borrow for this loan, is this value here. And we hit enter, and it comes up in red because that's a negative value, it's an outflow. If we don't want it to be red, we can put a minus sign here, and then that changes that to a positive value, and it becomes that. Now, what's nice about this is now when the user interacts with this model, they can change this value. So let's say I want to look at 2032. Well, 2032 is right here. That has a value of 4,500. We're going to leave the interest rate the same and the number of years the same. And so we'd make monthly payments of $141.01. What if I want to get this paid off in a year? I just put in 1. Then I would pay $391.45. What if I could get a better annual interest rate? I could put in 0.06 and see how that affects the payment function. So here we've modeled that payment function so the user then can interact and change certain things without having to go and find the values or other information here, and then they can change other information as well instead of just typing it straight in here, and then it's not able to change values to see what the impact on the monthly payment is. And so that's my little demo for you. I hope you find it useful and that you can apply it towards the assignment for this week.